Once you log into Meography, you'll be taken to your bookshelf where all the books that you're working on will be shown. Right now, it's just My Great Life by Mike Ashland. I click on the book and it takes me directly to my question dashboard where we get all our questions. There's another way to get it though. You can go under Manage and click on Questions at any time and it will take you to the question dashboard. The first way you'll probably look for questions is random. By hitting that big button, it pulls up one of the thousands of questions we have. And if you don't like the first one, click on Try a different question instead, and another one will come up. And you can just keep clicking on that until you find a question that inspires you or gets you interested or upset or makes you want to write. Describe your happiest moment. There's one I might write about. I'm going to go back to the questions and show you another way you can find questions, and that is to look under the subjects. We've divided our questions up into categories. And if you hover over each one of these, it'll tell you what they're about. Events is about date-oriented things, and experience is about your jobs and what you've done, community service, and things like that. Health is about things having to do with your body and diseases, operations, accidents, things like that. And if you scroll down, you'll see there are a number more. We'll take a look at Off the Grid, which is the weird place. Whatever doesn't fit anywhere else goes into Off the Grid. I'm going to choose a question from Off the Grid by clicking on it and go through the questions that are listed there. And I chose What is your best idea? Now, I could write about that, but maybe I just don't like it. So I'm going to try another question. And again, you can keep going until you find something that really moves you. Go back to the question dashboard and take a look at another way to get a question, and that is to click the New button. This is where you write your own question. When you put your question in, it's usually a good idea to ask a question that isn't yes or no. I'm writing, have you ever lost a limb or part of your body? I should follow it up with describe what happened or something like that. I'm going to put it under health, I think. Now, if I tried to just save that, now it would give me a red thing that said I was supposed to answer it, because when you write your own answer, you do have to write, when you write your own question, you do have to write your answer in. And that's to keep the system from loading up with just nothing but questions. Once you save it, though, something interesting happens. Let's take a look at another way of finding questions, and that's ones you've already answered. I'm going to click on one. And you'll see it takes me to the question I selected, written by Meography, so it comes from us. But if I go back to the questions that have already been answered, and I click on the question that we just wrote about losing a limb, you'll see that down here it says a question comes from you. So when it goes into our database, it is attached to you and to your name. So if somebody else brought it up, and they could, it would say coming from Mike. Another important tool in Meography is our questions listed by year. So here we can tell when we've written. If I go into 1951, what do you know about your birth? I've already answered that. I started to answer it. And there's my answer. I could keep working on it, but I think I want to talk about something else having to do with my birth. So I'm going to click Add Another Answer. I'll have to give it a different title. I'm going to write it about my godmother, because this is a completely different little piece of information, and I'll begin writing it. And I will go down below and save it. And what you'll see, oh, look, I have to have an answer for this one. So a date. I'm going to go pick my birth date, 1951. I'll navigate over to July of 1951 and July 9th. And click on 9. There we go. And now that date will be forever attached to that question. So I go back to the question dashboard and look under by year, look under 1951. I have two answers with the same question. So that means that if you had a question, say, talk about your siblings, and you had 11 siblings, you could have 11 answers.